Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video will be on this A-line dress with cut together pocket. And if this is your first time of stopping by, do well to hit on the subscribe button. And to my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support. I really appreciate it. And please do well to wash my ass, give me a thumbs up, share my videos to family and friends. And without wasting so much time, let's get straight into the video. So my fabric is folded into two. So this down one is the back, and then the front one is the front. The upper one is the front, and you can see my zipper allowance. So marking here, what we have here is our marking is going to be starting from the center front, and what you're going to be folding is your bust measurement divided by 4 plus about 6 inches for stitching, and then your pocket allowance. So that's what I folded. So let's continue. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark a straight line to serve as our starting point, and also to mark out the label on the fabric. Then from there, I'm going to go ahead and take the length of my gown. For this length, you're supposed to be taking out about 2 inches or 2.5 inches. For me, I took away 2.5 inches. But while I was marking this, I forgot to take it away. Though I did that before cutting out, so just wanted to mention it. So I was supposed to take out 2 inches, then use ½ inch for joining of the plating at the lower part. Then that's what you're supposed to do. So that's if you're supposed to be taking 2.5 inches, just mark at 2 inches. The ½ inch is supposed to be, you are going to be using it to join the plating. I hope you understand this. Remember, our marking is going to be starting from the center front. That's that folded edge that I showed you guys. Then we are going to go ahead and mark our neckline. For the width of my neckline, I am marking at 3.3 inches, and then for the depth, I am marking at 3.5 inches or 4 inches, depending on what works for you. So I marked at 4 inches. I just wanted a bigger neckline. That's why I increased my measurement, and this style is also for a 9-year-old, so you don't want it to be too fitted. Then for the depth of my back neckline, I marked at 1 inch, and it's the same thing for the width of the front one. So once I am done with that, we're going to go ahead and mark half of our shoulder measurement, which is at 6.5 inches. Then I added 1 inch for stitching allowance. I'll go ahead and then mark my armhole depth. For my armhole depth, I am marking at 7 inches, but this depends on how wide you want your armhole to be. Remember, it's not a fitted gown, so it's not supposed to be fitted at the armhole. Then I'm going to go ahead and connect all these lines across so that it will be more visible, and also for us to understand what we are doing more. Once I am done with that, for my shoulder slope, I am going down by 0.75 inch, and then I'll connect it to my starting point. Once I am done with that, I'll go ahead and mark my bust measurement divided by 4. And what I have is 8 inches. I'll make a mark at that 8 inches. You're supposed to add your 1 inch for ease before marking your armhole, but I was rushing on this tutorial. I also did not mark it immediately, though I remarked it. You are going to see where I did that. So I'll go ahead and connect my front and my back neckline. Once I am done with that, from that my bust measurement divided by 4, I added 1 inch for ease, and then 1 inch for stitching allowance. Then I'll go ahead and mark my armhole. But before we do that, I measured what I have there, which is 10 inches. I'll go ahead and replace it at the hem area. I'll mark my 10 inches, and then I'll be marking 6 more inches or 5 more inches for ease. For the A-line curve, I marked 5 more inches for the A-line curve. So I'm going to connect these 2 points. The point coming from the hem to the one coming towards the bust. Once I am done with that, at this point, I'll go ahead and remark my armhole curve. So once we are done with that, we're going to go ahead and mark our pocket. So from my bust point, I am going down by 9 inches, and then for my pocket open, because it's for a child, I am going to mark at 7 inches. And because I don't have any more fabric, I'm just going to make use of what I have. That's why my pocket is kind of small, but it's for a child, so it will do. So that's it for this the marking of this. I believe I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And just like I mentioned earlier, I forgot to take out the measurement for the plate, which is 2.5 inches, but I'll be using half inch to join the plate, so I'll just mark at 1 inch, or at 2 inches, sorry. Then I'll go ahead and connect these 2 inches straight, so that we don't go and start working on what we're not supposed to work with. So if you haven't subscribed up to this moment, this is another reminder to please hit on the subscribe button and join the family. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you find value in this video. If you look at the pocket, you will see that I added half inch stitching allowance all around the pocket. Please do well to do the same, so that you see what to stitch to close up the pocket while sewing it. So we're going to go ahead and cut out our facing, and you can see my fabric is folded into two, and this is my front body. So I'll place it this way and make sure that the two centers are matching. I'll first of all pin that place down, and then I'll pin the other places down. You guys know I like pinning my fabrics down while working it. I don't want it to keep moving. I don't have that kind of energy to keep arranging. So I'll cut out my neckline, and then I'll cut out the shoulder part of it as well. So for this facing, I don't want it to extend to my armhole. You can see that it's not up to my armhole area. So I'll just take this out, and then I'm going to be marking 3.5 inches all around this. So once I am done marking it, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So that's our facing for our front. I'll also do the same thing for the back. So this is for the back. So once I am done with it, we are going to go ahead and bring in the front facing, so that we'll start our sewing tutorial for this A-line gown. I'll open out my front bodies. You can see what we have, and then I'll bring in my facing. You can do front facing front, or you can just place the back of the facing at the front side of the gown, whichever works for you. But me, I did front facing front. So I'll go ahead and pin this down. Just like I said, I don't want it to keep moving while I am working with it, but you can as well stitch down without pinning. But I will tell you for a fact, pinning is a lot easier. And then I'll go ahead and stitch by half of an inch all the way through, and I'll repeat the same process for the back. I'll turn it to the front side, pick up my back body, make sure that the piece you have is correct, and then I'll stitch by half inch all the way through. So this is what we have after I was done. I'll go ahead and make notches around the neckline, and also for the back one, I'll make notches around this. Then we'll turn it to the right side. So all you have to do is to serge the rough edges of this facing, and then turn it to the wrong side. Use your hemming gum to iron it out to keep it in place. So as I'm yet to work on the edges of this facing, let's continue with the tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my fabric to the right side and make sure I arrange it well. If you don't have a hemming gum at this point, but you have light, please do well to go ahead and iron your pieces out, so that this neckline will stay in place. Or you can as well pin it down to stay in place and stop worrying us. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to do front facing front, so that we'll work on the on the shoulder. So for this shoulder, you have two different options. Is either you just place it this way, front facing front, and stitch it down, or you can do inseam finishing, and the inseam finishing is what I optioned for. So I'll open up the two neckline with the facing, place it this way, make sure the two neckline seam line is matching, and then I'll stitch from one end to the other. Make sure you arrange your pieces well before stitching. So onto our sleeve, I am using this organza, this green organza. I just believe I made the right choice of color. So you can see my fabric is folded into 4, and this place is the folded part towards my, I don't even know if it's my right or left, but I think it's facing me, the one facing towards me. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark the length of this sleeve. You know, this is going to be a big sleeve. Yes, a big sleeve, just like in the pictures. So I'll go ahead and mark my length of my sleeve at 12 inches, and then I'm adding 2 inches stitching allowance. I'll mark this line across as well, or as usual, so that it will be more visible. I believe that when you guys are seeing the line more visible, you can easily understand better what we are doing. So once I am done with that, I'm going to, so for the measurement I have my sleeve measurement divided into 2, which is 6 inches, and then I added extra 6 inches to it. Remember, this is a big sleeve, it's not your normal fitted sleeve. So for the sleeve cap height, I went down by 4.5 inches and I made a mark there. So I'm going to go ahead and connect this with a free hand because it's not normal sleeve, so it's quite long. So you just try to like write a S that is long, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So this is what we have after I was done cutting it out. I'm going to go ahead and hem this. Remember, while folding, you're going to be folding quite big so that your elastic band can be able to pass through it. And I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is our shoulder after I was done. Just like I said, I'm using inseam finishing, and you can see the 2 sides of the shoulder that is well closed. So at this point, you are going to go ahead and serge, and then use your hemming gun to hold it down. So this is my elastic. For the elastic, you are going to measure the your arm round sleeve, your sleeve round sleeve. Oh my goodness! And then take out about 1 inch from it. You don't want it to be very tight. You don't want it, and you know, children, once any cloth is not comfortable for them, they complain, and that's all for you. I don't know about your child, but that's my daughter for you. So once I push it in, I'll stitch it to hold it down, then pull it out from the other side, and then also stitch it down. So this is what we have after I was done with it. So we are going to go ahead and work on our sleeve, or let's say attach our sleeve. So I'll open up my sleeve part of the gown, and then I'm going to go ahead and place this at the beginning of it. I'm going to go ahead, I'll pin it down, and then I'll start stitching. Once I am getting towards the center of my shoulder line, and also stitch from the other side, every other excess will be placed at the shoulder line, that's on top of your shoulder. So this is what we have after I was done. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to close this, and then make sure you arrange your pieces well. Then I'm going to go ahead and stitch down by the allowance that we added. You can see the way I'm showing you guys how to stitch it. That's how you're going to be stitching. So you stitch all the way to your pocket, you stitch your pocket by 1/2 inch, and then you stitch all the way down. You're going to repeat the same process for the other side. You're doing front facing front, and then you're going to be stitching from the sleeve all the way to the pocket, and then to the hem. So for the plates at the lower side, remember we took out 2.5 inch, we took out 2 inches. So I replaced the 2 inches, and then I added extra 2 inches, or let's say we took out 2.5 inches because they have inches for stitching, so we took out 2.5. So I added extra 2 inches. So I'm going to hem this, and then once I am done hemming this, I'll bring in my body. Starting from my zipper side, I'll stitch my zipper first, and then I'll stitch my zipper allowance first, and then I'll start my plating. I'll plait all the way from that to the other side. Remember not to plait on your zipper allowance. Then I also went ahead to close up my zipper and then attach my zipper. I hope you enjoyed this video and find value in it. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please share my videos to family and friends, and then wash my ass. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.